every year. When December arrived, the town of Snowbell began to glow. Lights appeared on windows, music floated through the streets, and snow fell like quiet magic. But this year felt different. One little star in the sky noticed it first. High above Snowbell, there was a tiny star named Lumi. Lumi was not the brightest star, not the biggest, not the fastest. But Lumi watched carefully. Every Christmas, Lumi shined proudly. This year, Lumi felt dim. Why does Christmas feel quieter? Lumi whispered to the moon. The moon, old and wise, simply shone its silver light a silent reply. Lumi felt a pang of worry. Christmas was supposed to be about bright lights and loud cheer. What was happening? The little star's light flickered, feeling lost in the vast dark sky. Down below, a girl named Clara sat near her window, her breath fogging the cold glass. She didn't write a gift list. She didn't hang many decorations. She just watched the snow fall in gentle, swirling patterns. Her family had been so busy this year. Her dad worked late, and her mum was always rushing, their faces etched with tiredness. The house was quiet, missing the familiar sounds of laughter and shared stories that used to fill every corner. Clara missed the feeling of togetherness more than any present she could imagine. "I wish Christmas would slow down," she whispered into the frosty air, her small voice almost lost in the stillness of the room. She just wanted them to be together, truly together, like they used to be. That very night, far away at the North Pole, Santa checked his sleigh. The red paint gleamed, the golden bells were polished, and the giant sack was filled with toys of every shape and size. Everything was ready, but he paused, his hand resting on the smooth wood of the sleigh. Something felt off. The air, usually crackling with excitement and magic, felt different. "The magic feels lighter," Santa said softly to himself, his brow furrowed with concern. The reindeer, hearing his voice, tilted their heads, their large dark eyes questioning. Santa looked up at the sky, his gaze sweeping over the countless twinkling stars, and then he saw it, a single tiny star flickering faintly. He saw Luet. He knew that the magic of Christmas wasn't just in his sack or in his sleigh. It was in the hearts of children and the light of the stars. And one of those lights was struggling. Lumi tried to shine brighter, putting all of its energy into its glow, but the light just wouldn't come. It felt weak, almost invisible against the backdrop of the night. "What if I don't matter this year?" Lumi wondered, a wave of sadness washing over the tiny star. "What if my light isn't needed?" Below, the town of Snowbell looked peaceful, with soft snow blanketing every roof, but it also looked lonely. Each house was a separate little island of light. A profound sense of quiet hung over everything. Lumi felt its light dim even further, ready to give up. But then Lumi made a decision, a different kind of decision. Instead of trying to shine, Lumi decided to listen, to watch, to simply be present. And so Lumi watched. The little star's gaze fell upon a house where a family was sitting together in the living room. They weren't talking much, just being there in the same space. The parents held warm cups of cocoa, their shoulders relaxed for the first time all day. The children were wrapped in soft blankets, their eyes drooping with sleepiness. In another home, an elderly woman sat by her fireplace, simply watching the flames dance. Lumi saw these quiet, gentle moments all over town, and as Lumi watched, something warm began to grow inside. A new understanding started to dawn. Maybe Christmas isn't loud magic, Lumi realized. Maybe it's not about being the brightest. Maybe it's quiet light, the kind you feel, not just see. On Christmas Eve, something shifted in Clara's house. Her parents came and sat beside her on the floor by the window. There were no phones, no lists, no talk of work. They pulled out a simple board game, one they hadn't played in years. At first, it was quiet, but soon soft laughter filled the room. Her dad made a silly move, and her mum playfully rolled her eyes. Clara felt a warmth spread through her chest, a feeling she had missed so deeply. It was simple. It was calm. It was perfect. Clara looked out the window to share her happiness with the night sky. And as she looked up, she saw a small star, one she hadn't noticed before, begin to glow with a steady, gentle light. That star was Lumi. Filled with a newfound purpose, Lumi chose to shine. Not with a blinding, spectacular brightness, but with a gentle, warm, and steady glow. A soft light that felt like a hug. It was a light that didn't demand attention but offered comfort, and a funny thing happened. One by one, the lights in Snowbell seemed to change. The fairy lights on the trees didn't get bigger, but they felt warmer. The candles in the windows didn't flicker more wildly, but their glow seemed kinder, more inviting. High above in his sleigh, soaring over the town, Santa smiled. He felt the shift in the magic. It was growing stronger, deeper. "That's it," he said to his reindeer. "That's the kind of magic Christmas needs most of all." Christmas morning came. The world was hushed, covered in a fresh blanket of snow. The air in Snowbell felt calm and full of peace. Clara woke up not to a frantic rush of presents, but to the smell of pancakes and the sound of her parents talking softly in the kitchen. She ran and gave them a big, long hug, and they hugged her back just as tightly. High above, in the pale morning sky, Lumi rested. The little star was tired, but happy. So deeply happy, because Lumi had learned something truly important. You don't always need to be the brightest or the loudest to make a difference. You just need to shine your own light in your own way, right when it matters most. Snow fell slowly outside the windows of Snowbell. Hearts felt full, not with things, but with a quiet, wonderful feeling of connection. And Christmas arrived. Gently, peacefully, quietly. If you enjoyed this gentle Christmas story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more fun and meaningful stories that bring warmth, kindness, and imagination to life. And if you have a story idea, a character, or a Christmas theme you'd love to see next, please write it in the comments below. We read every single idea and would be so happy to turn your imagination into a real story for everyone to enjoy. Thank you for listening.